would say first be ready. Like, it's coming. Like, the question is going to come. You're going to get hit with it. And the worst thing you can do is not be ready for it. So when they come to you and they ask you what's your salary or your salary, you got to hit them with a range. I would say never give up your number. Like, never give up your number. Stay with a range.
I always look at it as if it comes up within the interview, I say I'm open for negotiation, and I see where the job pay grade is. Most likely, more than likely, I'll see where it is prior to going to the interview, and I always give them a range between 15 and 20% higher if possible. That may be reaching, but I mean, what's the point of going to a new job?
You need to tell them the number that's gonna make you happy.
Yeah.
I think Rico hit on a good point though. Like, you got to do it with some finesse. Like, if they ask you, just tell them like, hey, I'm willing to negotiate down the line. If it's early on in the process, you really don't need to be talking about money. Like, let's just figure out if I'm the right guy for the job. If I'm the right guy for the job, then we can figure it out, down the line. So to me, like, the best time to look for a job is like when you're happy with your current job, because then you got all the leverage in the world. It's like, I don't need you more than you need me. Like, that's how you create that leverage. But like, so that would apply for like a mid-level or a seasoned employee. But like, if you're an entry level, you really don't have any leverage. You're like a rookie in the NBA. You gotta take what you get.
The rookie contract.
Yeah, it's tough.
I would say having leverage essentially comes based on your experience. Whatever experience you have in your previous jobs, whatever experience that you have with software, whatever experience that you have with knowledge of that particular position, that's how I look at leverage.
Okay, so the first time I ever came into like really big money, or not big money, but like really salary negotiation, was when I was leaving one of my first jobs in Cincinnati. And I actually loved the job. I loved the people there. I had a mentor, but it was just time for me to go. I had started a family, so I was ready to get back to Cleveland. So then I went to interview with Akron, and then they asked me how much I made. And now I'm looking back at it, I was making 20% less than the pay band or whatnot. So my mentor told him, don't tell him your number. He said, just don't tell him your number, just give him a range. And from there it worked out. So I went from making that was just a huge jump right there that I wouldn't have accomplished without keeping the leverage that they didn't know how much I made. They just knew I was coming from a manager job.
My first real negotiation came when I was transitioning from Sherwin-Williams to Key, and I was sitting on the phone with HR, and I didn't realize like this how the process went, or no one actually coached me up on talking salary. So the HR pretty much asked me where I was currently within my job now, and me just knowing that I wanted to make more money, I ended up telling him like 10 to 12% more than what I actually was making.
Yeah. I really think like salary too is more like a function of HR, because I feel like managers don't necessarily always care about salary. Like, I just had my last boss, he just flat out asked me like, how much you making in? It's like, wait, hold on, man. Like, you don't know how much I make? Like this is crazy. I was just like, wow. And then to the other point that we spoke about earlier, when I was leaving Cincinnati to come back to Cleveland, I was going to take a job at the Cleveland Clinic. My mother told me not to apply for it because it was a financial analyst 1. She said, that's going to be way too small for you or whatnot. So I'm like, no, I'm just going to go ahead and do this. So I went ahead and interviewed for the financial analyst 1 job. Everything went well. I thought I was perfect for the job. Didn't hear from the Cleveland Clinic forever. Like, I interviewed in January, but I just kept having this feeling like, that they were going to call me back. And they called back in the end of March or early April, and they was like, you're the man for the job, but we had to take some time because we had to change the job for you. So I think the bigger point is like, if you're the person for the job, they will change loops for you. Like, so I went from a financial analyst 1 to financial analyst 3, and then I ended up telling them, no, I'm going to Akron. But I would say, first understand it's the time and place for salary negotiation. If you're a young guy coming straight out of college, don't lose the job being petty, trying to get as much as possible. Mm-hmm. But if you're a seasoned vet, understand when you have leverage and when you don't. If you don't understand what leverage is, or when it's time to use it, or how to use it, I would say come back to the career course. Like the career course explains all of that for you. What you think, Rico?
I would say aim high, be bold. Don't sell yourself short simply because you don't feel as if you're required to make the money that that's out there. I guarantee you probably are, but aim high.
Yeah. And we got stories in the book in the career course about experiences that we went through, as far as being bold and just going for it.